So the thing is, I really want to be 7 weeks out. Do I feel like that is feasible at the moment? No. And that is kind of what this video is about. Being in a place during competition prep where you feel like you're at a standstill, or you're even going backwards, and you're feeling like, God damn it, I will not be ready on time. Because that is my current situation. Kind of doing this video for others, kind of doing it for myself, because I feel like it's just so important to remember these little things that I'm about to bring up in this video when you're feeling like this. And will I compete in 7 weeks? I honestly don't know, but I'm like, at this point, maybe I'm 85% sure that I will. Will I be perfectly conditioned? I don't know. I hope so. Will I compete if I'm not perfectly conditioned? That will be a conversation for a later time, or a conversation between me and my coach. But anyway, obviously it is my pro debut that I'm preparing for, and I want to be as just ready and perfectly conditioned as I possibly can be. But I also recognize that there's only so many shows left of this year, and so every show matters. Every time I step on stage matters, not only for me and like getting the practice to be on stage, but also like to get the feedback that I need for improvements that I need, and just getting my face out there, getting my feet wet, seeing where I stand as an IF Baby Wellness Pro, because I don't know that yet, and all that good stuff. So I really want to compete in 7 weeks. But right now, I am at the point where the scale is either not moving or going up. I personally am not seeing a lot of changes in my physique, and that is stressful. So this video will be about what I do to combat this and to get over this hurdle and to just keep pushing through prep. So it's not like a full-on physique update, but I just want to show you guys kind of what I'm dealing with, where I'm at. Mostly maybe for myself, for future reference, but also like for anyone who in the future sees how things went and can reference back to this video where I'm like, oh my god, I won't be ready on time. Which very well could be a possibility. Anyone who's watching this after, like in 2 months or whatever, will know what happened. But anyway, so right now this is my reality. Obviously there are like some like you can see something going on in there, you know. Skin is like loose-ish, you know, like you see the skin being like a little loose like that. Same with that glute, little like glute dimple. Still no tie-ins. You can see some hamstring line. So this is actually my first time flexing in a while. Like I even did posing practice in sweats the other day because I was like so just like blah, you know. But you still have to get the work done. Still have to get those posing practice times in, even if you feel like shit. So that's what I did. But anyway, this is actually my first time looking at like kind of where my physique is currently at. And this is also like middle of the day, so I've already had 3 meals. I actually just finished eating a meal, so it's not like first thing in the morning check-in photos or anything like that. But so this is kind of where I'm at physique wise, as this is not a time to sit back and wait, because it is 7 weeks left. I need to push harder, and I need to be smarter, and I need to just recenter myself and focus on what I can control. Which brings me to my first point actually. Number 1, what you can do in these situations is control what you can control. Can you control what the scale says? To a certain degree, yes, but really no. You can control when you go to bed, what you do before bed to like de-stress and shut yourself down a little bit so that you get the restful sleep you need. You can control what you eat. You can control the output you have in the gym and just during steps and cardio and whatever else. So control every variable that you are in control of. And that includes just doing the absolute best that you can every single day. Find ways to do a little better every day. I have a hair somewhere here on my face. Just find a way to be your absolute best every day. 100% of yourself can look different day in, day out. For example, maybe you're sick, your 100% will not be as good as a day when you're completely 100% healthy. Just do your goddamn best every day. Number 2 is stress management. What that means for you, I don't know, but for me, that means reading a book, taking a bath, doing my makeup, taking a walk without headphones, lowering your caffeine intake, shopping, doing calligraphy. I actually got some new calligraphy pens this weekend. All of those work really well for me to like de-stress and just disconnect, put my phone away, you know, like not look at that, turn off notifications, all of that good stuff. Just be you, with you, and do what makes you feel good and in the moment and just centered. Number 3 is just making sure that I don't miss at the gym. Now I'm kind of like in a interesting situation / space where I am obviously in a caloric deficit, so I'm not really as strong / getting stronger the way I used to be. So for example, during my previous leg day, I was not able to push quite as much weight as I did. Sorry about the sirens, Jesus Christ, New York City things. But anyway, I was not able to push the same weights as I did the previous week, even though I really wanted to, on my compound movements. So like the bigger movements where you use like basically your entire body. In that case, it was reverse hack squat and RDLs. So what I did instead was for every other more isolated exercise, I just made sure to either up my weights or do a few more reps. Own the gym, take responsibility for your progress in the gym. Don't use prep as an excuse, because usually your mind will give up or tell you like, listen, you're in a caloric deficit, maybe it's okay that you just take it a little bit easy. Don't do that. Do not take it easy. We are pushing through. There are so many ways you can make progress in the gym that are not weight focused. It can be time under tension, like making sure that you're feeling your glutes, for example, the entirety of the rep, and never letting go of that like sensation of like flexing your glutes during your exercise. It can be doing one extra rep. It can be warming up properly and making sure that you have amazing contact in your targeted muscle group. Like, it can be so many things. Just make sure that you don't miss in the gym. Number 4 is body work. I have spent this entire prep just doing my own body work just to like save cash and stuff, and that's been like foam rolling, stretching, doing like the massage gun, and Epsom salt baths. Those 4 have been like my primary body work things that I've done. I'm realizing that it might not be enough for me, so I've actually booked a massage appointment. I'm just gonna wait until there. I've actually booked a massage appointment for this Friday, which is in 2 days, so I'm very excited about that. I'm hoping that that will kind of just get rid of any excess slagprodukter. I'll put the translation here when I Google it, okay? But yeah, like just get rid of toxins, maybe that's what it's called. Toxins, flush out my entire system, get some blood flow to my legs and glutes primarily, and all that good stuff. So really excited to tackle a true massage session this Friday. Number 5, which I have implemented now for a couple days, is try not to analyze your check-in photos and cover yourself up and avoid mirrors as best you can. Just, you know, take your check-in photo, don't really look at it too hard, send it off to your coach, let them do the looking and analyzing. Wear, you know, a sweatshirt for a couple days at the gym. When you do posing, just don't do posing with mirrors. That's good for you anyway, because you won't have a mirror on stage. And just kind of let go of the analyzing of your physique. I know we all do it as competitors because, let's face it, it's part of the game, but just try to like avoid that for a little when you're feeling like this. Number 6, fairly obvious, but talk to your coach if you have one. In my case, I have one, and I feel like it's really good to have a coach, especially moments like this. And hopefully your coach is good enough to tell you the real deal. They should tell you, you know, what their game plan is. They should tell you if they think you have a chance of being ready, you know, like, because sometimes we can be blind to these things ourselves. So it's really good to have someone who is gonna be completely real with you, because not only is your quote-unquote reputation on the line, but so is theirs, you know, like you don't want to put someone up on stage who is not ready if you're a good coach. Talk to your coach, go over the plan, talk about future plans, talk about game plans, gain some reassurance, hopefully. Number 7, embrace and look forward to the changes in protocol, because there will be changes, probably. Whether they are increased cardio, removing a refeed, or lowering your macros, ordering you to rest, whatever it may be, embrace it and remember that that change, you might be like, damn, I really don't want to be doing more cardio, or I really don't want to be eating less. But in that uncomfort is where you will progress. I personally view it as a good, fun, exciting thing when my coach is like, hey, I lowered your macros, and I'm like, whoop, because hopefully that means a nicer check-in next time. Although in my case it did not, but we lowered them even more, so now we are quite low in calories. I will take that entire like prep update another time. This is not the time for that. I really wanted to make this into like 8 tips because I feel like 7. I want an even number, you know what I mean? So I will add an 8th bonus, which I feel like I've implemented without meaning to this entire prep. And that is, find an activity that kind of makes you forget that you're in this prep bubble, because the deeper we get into prep, the more inside of our bubble we become. We love our routine. We go to bed at a certain time every day, probably. We wake up pretty early probably to do our cardio, and we work, we go to the gym, we come home, eat, sleep, repeat. But I have found that squeezing in events every now and then really helps me get out of my prep bubble, because while I love the routine, I love being inside my little prep bubble, it is very nice for your mental health to kind of get out of that every now and then. Take my date nights, for example, with my husband. Like, you know, we'll go to the movies, we'll go to the museum, we'll go to a paint class, concerts, whatever it may be. Just like find a low-key event that doesn't involve food and just go have fun and kind of forget everything. Hopefully you'll see that that is kind of like a mental reset, and then you'll be happy to be back into your routine. Maybe that was a chance for you to de-stress a little bit, and maybe that'll show some positive results on the scale and on the physique. The scale is not everything, of course. We all know that physique improvements are much better than a scale improvement, but in the grand scheme of things, losing weight is kind of what we do during prep. But hopefully, as each season comes and goes, we'll see that our stage weight is a little higher, at least when it comes to wellness, where I feel like you can't really grow too much in the legs and glute department. Bikini might be different because it's more shaping and like making sure that you have symmetry and not too big anywhere. But for wellness, the more glutes the better. If my stage weight is higher than it was last year, I feel like it's a good thing, because that probably hopefully means that I put on muscle mass. Those are just my 2 cents, or my 8 cents as it were. Let me know if you guys have any questions, or if you have any tips that I did not bring up on how to kind of get through this rough patch of prep. I will talk to you guys in the next video.